I want to get the introductions out of the way pretty quickly because I think you don't need to hear the resume, but you do need to hear about what's coming up over the next 72 hours and the angst that will be had, the hand-wringing that will be had when it comes to the rivalry game. And the rivalry game we speak of is not Virginia Tech, although I know a lot of you heading up the 95 right now may have those plans, and God bless you if you are stuck in traffic right now or you're grabbing the last-minute things to hit the roads or to fly out, because this is the bit. This is a tough drive, so grab all the coffee, sit back, and enjoy the ride. We will entertain you, I promise. For the next 3 hours, you will be entertained. Whether it's football, whether it's hockey, whether it's college basketball, you will be entertained. Is that not right, Graham Hill?
Absolutely. Or you might be even more frustrated that you have to hear our voices again if you tuned in this morning. But hey, as Chuck Amano once said, happy Thanksgiving.
Sure.
Just leaning into the NC State Carolina rivalry game.
Why not? And it is a rivalry game where, as we know, we throw the records out the window. But to be fair, only one team really has to be thinking about the record because the other team has packed it all in with their head coach, and that is North Carolina football. Mack Brown, fired yesterday, certainly has created just one more layer of that onion between these two teams, but the record does not matter. North Carolina is not going to improve on its bowl position. It will get one of these amazing magical trips, as they say, like on The Price is Right or Wheel of Fortune. God rest the soul of Chuck Woolery, who just passed away. But it's not like they're going to go to any other place fantastic. Annapolis is wonderful this time of year. Birmingham is beautiful. There's a wonderful spot in Shreveport that I can recommend for dinner. So it's not going to get that much better for North Carolina. So forget about the record. But for NC State, you need this. You have to have this. This is beyond just must win. This is take something into the holidays without having to think about the unthinkable. And that unthinkable is staying home for the holidays. And as much as I give you the sexy nature of that road trip to Annapolis, or that amazing ride down to Shreveport, or perhaps Tampa is in your future, one of these bowls does come with a lot of extra things. It keeps your players around, it keeps your fan bases engaged, and keeps your coaches happy for a few more weeks until some of them, and guaranteed some of them, decide that there might be a greener pasture somewhere else. And congratulations to new East Carolina head coach Blake Harrell, who just landed his dream job, a guy who's been North Carolina through and through and is now the head guy in Greenville for the next several seasons as long as he keeps winning. So congratulations to him. But back to the task at hand between State and UNC, where the records have been thrown out on one end, the record really matters on the other end. So why not just let Mack Brown be Mack Brown? Mack Brown should just come out in a tuxedo at this point. He could come out on the field in the tuxedo, run out of the stands, get his one last big cheer and goodbye, and I truly expect in Chapel Hill he will be cheered by those who want to stand and cheer him. Regardless if you hated him behind your computer screen or you only loved him when you were in Keenan, you will still cheer for Mack Brown because undeniably he has left a legacy on North Carolina, much like those before him, and I speak that on the basketball side, not necessarily on the football side. There are notables on the football side, but North Carolina known more for its basketball. We can be honest about that. But head coach Mack Brown, who's going out like Yosemite Sam going against Bugs Bunny in those Warner Brothers cartoons, is going to go guns a-blazing. And Mack Brown speaking to the media, talking about stopping the trend of the Wolfpack wins.
NC State's got to win to go to a bowl. We've got to win to stop the trend of NC State beating us. So it's all there. It's real, and the players know it, and that's what makes this game so much fun. And it makes football so good. It's all there. It's real. Now you got to go do it. And there's a difference in being physically strong and mentally strong. We got a tough team, but we weren't as mentally tough as they were on Saturday. And we're not good enough to win unless we do that. And that's just what we've got to go back to this week.
We need to stop NC State from beating us. But really? the message line truly is Mack Brown's last big stand. And why doesn't he just go out with a big group of fireworks? It's very clear. It was very clear to me when the message came down roughly 24 hours ago when Mack Brown was said that he was not returning in 2025. After weeks of saying, I plan to come back, I want to be back, and I will be back, he suddenly won't be back. And for Mack Brown, this is about taking the last big swing. It doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter what happened in the 6 years to nearly the day that he joined North Carolina for his second run at Chapel Hill. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the loss last week against Boston College. It doesn't matter the loss in the Holiday Bowl to Oregon 2 seasons ago. There's nothing left but tomorrow, the day after that, so Thanksgiving, the Friday, and then game day. That is 72 hours of Mack Brown packing boxes and packing his office while still trying to focus on the job that he still has, by the way. The business card still reads head football coach at North Carolina. It means a little bit more. It has a little bit more bite to it. But why not just let it all hang out? I've challenged teams, and I've said this about the Carolina Panthers. I'll say this about NC State now, and I'll certainly say it about North Carolina because there's nothing left. You have a bowl game in hand. Now it's about sending your coach out on the right foot. If there is a page 158 in a 157-page playbook on offense for Chip Lindsey in North Carolina, they need to find that secret page. They need to dig it out, and they need to run every play on it. Is it Omarion Hampton in the Wildcat for the entire opening drive? Why not? Is it reverse after reverse after reverse? Why not? There's nothing left to lose. You have nothing to prove. This team will only go as far as Saturday night at roughly 7:30. And at that point, they all put their hands in one more time. Whatever they say in the locker room, family, together, heels, Keenan, let's go home, whatever it is, it's the last time that crew will say it together. There is a scattering coming. It will come before the bowl game. It is an unfortunate byproduct of the decision made 24 hours ago that Mack Brown would no longer be the head coach. So why not go out, coach? Why not North Carolina go out in blazes of glory? Burn the house down. It doesn't matter what you say. Matter of fact, Mack Brown, you can say whatever you want in the postgame. You can say whatever you want in the halftime interview. If you get interviewed at halftime, Mack, and I hope you and Miss Sally are listening, drop the most unusual whatever it is that you're going to put out there and make it cryptic. Just say some gibberish and blabberish or whatever it is. I hope you're leading at that point. And just do whatever you want to do. You get to do whatever you want to do as long as you win a football game. And to be honest, if you're talking about legacy or personal pride, I hope you win the game. But really, and I hate to say it because wins and losses are the currency in modern-day college football and in modern-day sport. Wins are all about profits, and losses are all about trying to figure out how to make more profit. And North Carolina told Mack Brown, we are cutting our losses. So, do you win because you love North Carolina, Mack? Or do you lose because you tried everything in the book to get a crazy, crazy win for your seniors and whatnot? You are a loyal guy. I have no doubt that's what you're going to do. Dave Doeren, before we break here, because we have a lot of things to get to today, Dave Doeren talking about Brown's firing and impacting his team's intensity.
I don't think it impacts us. Obviously there's going to be an emotional response, you would assume, from their team, and you would expect that. But I expected it anyway, I expected them to play really hard and give us their best, and obviously this, for them, is another incentive. But for us, it's just, no matter what's happening on that sideline, we got to make sure ours is right. We got to go in there with the right frame of mind and understand that the emotions of rivalry games are great, but the execution is how you win. The fundamentals, the finish, the ball security, and that's what we're going to be focused on.
History is on State's side so far, but momentum, does it feel like there's a different fire burning within Carolina because we know this is it? We know this is it. There's a finality coming with this team. And for NC State, now I didn't spend a lot of time talking about State, but I'll give them a little hat tip right here, right now. There's a lot riding on this for the fan base. There's a lot of emotion that will come with a win, and certainly, to be honest, and you can check yourselves on this one, even more emotion if you take the L.
Think about how this season started if you're an NC State fan. So much promise, high expectations, a solid offensive core, and the belief that this team could compete for an ACC title. But here we are, November 27th, 11 games in, and the Wolfpack are sitting at 5-6. Do or die situation. Win, you're bowl eligible. Something that NC State's taken a lot of pride on in the past couple of seasons. Lose, and you're sent at home in December. A bitter pill for a team that had such high hopes. Let's not sugarcoat it. A loss to your biggest rival, who they haven't lost in the past 3 years to conclude a season like this would just really put the icing on the cake even more for what's been a, dare I say, miserable season for NC State fans.
There is no yesterday at this point. There is no tomorrow. There is now. There is Thanksgiving. There is the Friday after, and then there is game day. 72 hours to figure out exactly what this game will mean to you. Fans of State, fans of Carolina, you will need to search your souls about what will mean more to you. Because at the end of this season, for both teams, and this is undeniable, you'll be looking back at a season that was an absolute roller coaster, an absolute cluster, no matter where you're at, and you will be scratching your head thinking to yourselves, how did we get to this point? And it will only be magnified by both teams making the decisions that they make at the end of this season. One, North Carolina going into a coaching search, and NC State going to either a bowl that they did not want to be in to begin with, or losing season that was unexpected